Hello and welcome. Today I quickly want to cover the weapon banner for both the Freedom Sworn and the Lost Prayer of the Sacred Winds, which are the weapons for the Kazuha and the Klee banners. So let's go. So before we get into the weapons, I would like to talk about the current state of your Primo Gems. With the current Kazuha banner, it is definitely worth it to pull for Kazuha before any of these weapons, as he's an insane character and a lot of people didn't have him initially. This means that a lot of you probably have pulled for Kazuha and are now running a lot lower on your Primo Gem reserves. The next patch is probably going to be Sumeru, which is going to come with the first flow of Dendro characters, which you definitely want to get your hands on, because it's new, fresh and cool. So all in all, I think this weapon banner should be heavily considered, if not just skipped, simply because of you probably having exhausted your Primo Gem resources on Kazuha, and the Dendro patch being right after, causing you to really want to stock up on some Primo Gems for now. But let's get into the weapons. Now first of all, the Freedom Sword. Now the first point I have is, what is that description? Holy moly, that is really long. But to summarize it quickly, you give yourself a damage bonus and you give your team a damage bonus to their attacks for a short while when you use your E ability, or basically when you proc a elemental reaction. Now this damage buff is really nice for Kazuha, and it perfectly fits with him because he shares it with the party, and the sword gives him a very large amount of elemental mastery and attack. But energy recharge swords like the Favonius sword can be used on Kazuha to give you a great alternative to this Freedom Sword, and it might even be slightly more efficient on him because you can get his ultimate off much more, and you're not as dependent on the energy recharge stat from your artifacts to keep using Kazuha's ult, which is one of the most powerful parts of his kit. Next to that, the Iron Sting is a reasonable free to play option, but the Freedom Sworn is a big upgrade over the Iron Sting. So if you want to play full EM Kazuha and think you have sufficient energy recharge from your artifacts, that the Favonius sword does not become an attractive option, you could pull for the Freedom Sword to give your Kazuha a slight power boost. But personally, if you're building a fresh Kazuha, I would recommend using the Favonius sword instead, even at Refinement 1. And then we have the Lost Prayer of Sacred Winds, which is the complete opposite to the Freedom Sworn, as its passive is very simple to understand, and it also isn't that long. It simply increases your movement speed by a bit, and you gain an elemental bonus for every 4 seconds that your character is on the field, with a cap of 4 stacks. This means the Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds is a great catalyst for any catalyst user that is a main DPS and stays on the field for a very long time. Like Klee. But even for Klee, getting to max stacks, which is 16 seconds, is way too long, as you usually swap out of her way before that time. So reaching max stacks is a little bit unrealistic. But the crit rate on the catalyst together with the high base attack make it a good weapon in general. The thing is, this 5-star catalyst is not that impressive compared to the great 4-star catalyst that we have, like the Witsit, that can help out a character a comparable amount without requiring you to pull on a 5-star banner. So even though this catalyst is good, I wouldn't recommend pulling specifically for this, as there are plenty of 4-star catalyst options, like the Witsit, that are just insane for a 4-star and give you a lot of stat. Now if you are a dedicated Klee main and have a big Primo Gem reserve, then feel free to pull for this catalyst, but I wouldn't specifically pull for this weapon, as a 4-star option is better, and you should definitely save your Primo Gems for a new Sumeru character. So to conclude, this weapon banner is alright, having a great weapon for Kazuha and a great weapon for Klee, but these weapons have very relevant 4-star options, and currently you really want to save those Primo Gems for upcoming banners, so I do not recommend you pull on this weapon banner. If you found this video informative, please tell me in the comments, and I hope you have a great day.